Welcome, beloved, to the Sunday Soul Podcast. My name is Lisa Brewer, and this is Heart of Inspiration. And here at this channel and on this podcast, we help you lead a whole and healed, peaceful, and prosperous life and continue to help you identify, clarify, and prosper in your purpose. And the topic for today's podcast is, are we living in two realities? Is there really a divergent reality that is beginning, a divergent timeline that is beginning to unfold on this planet? And then the question after that is, which one are you going to choose? You see, what's been happening and what has happened to a greater degree as we have come away now, we're starting to live in the world after the great conjunction, which was Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius, something that hasn't been seen for hundreds, or I dare say millennia. Yes, and we have started now these Saturn Jupiter conjunction cycles now in air signs for the next few hundred years. We then entered into a new time. And certainly we haven't seen the Saturn Jupiter conjunction happen so closely behind the Saturn Pluto conjunctions, plural, and the Saturn Jupiter conjunctions and the Jupiter Pluto conjunctions, all in Capricorn, that we've had over the last about 18 months or so. Like, that has been a very intense time, right? It's been a very intense time over the last year to year and a half. And we are entering into this phase and this age now, this new age of light, this new age of Aquarius, this new age of higher dimensional living. And we've been talking on this podcast over the last few episodes about a few things, one of which we've been discussing is entering into this new age of light. And what does that truly mean for the light worker? And what does that mean for humanity in and of itself? And then we've also been talking about, is God in control? Is God really in control? And we talked about that. We've talked about this age of agency now, this age of where we are responsible, and we've always been responsible, beloved, but now we're in this age where our level of responsibility and accountability for our own lives is more critical than it's ever been. It is so very vastly important that we as a collective begin to understand our true authority and power, accountability, and responsibility as the individual, as part of the collective. Because if we don't, then we're still waiting for someone or something to come save us. And that's not happening. So then as we think about these things, and as we bring this thought process then to its, ultimate, perhaps one of the ultimate conclusions is, some of us are seeing this fifth dimensional life as a true, not just a possibility, but a must. But this is our responsibility then to begin to live in fifth dimensional and higher reality. That we understand that this third dimensional realm is temporal. And we speak on that a lot in this podcast and on these broadcasts. We begin to speak about that a lot. We have. But it is now more than ever so much more critical that we comprehend what's really happening. So if you're sitting here saying, I see certain things and I understand, and I know that certain things just don't, there's some things that aren't making sense from a third dimensional logical point of view. But it seems to me that my co-humans on this planet, some of them just don't get it. Like it just begin it's feeling to you like, what are they thinking, and how can they not see what's real? Then I would say to you that you're a candidate, that you are indeed already stepping into the understanding that there are two divergent timelines that are being lived out, and the timeline is splitting. It has already begun to split, and it's becoming more and more and more and more divergent day by day, hour by hour, moment by moment. There is the timeline that is raising up, that is the vibrations of that group of people that are living in that timeline. They are continually raising their baseline frequency is continuing to come higher and higher. And some of them, maybe some of you, are just beginning to awaken. You're just beginning to understand that there is much more to this thing that we call reality, this version of reality that we're living in, than we before ever understood to be the case. And you're beginning to see things for what they really are. And what they really are, what it really is that there's something else out here that we can bring into a third dimensional realm, and we can then change our world. And what we're seeing as we're on one timeline, the higher timeline, is we kind of raise and raise and raise and look down a little bit, not in a condescending manner, but in observatory fashion. We're like, wait a minute. All of these pieces are like on a chessboard, and they're being moved around. Wait a minute. This person said that this was reality just a month ago, and now all of a sudden it's no longer reality. Now all of a sudden we're not paying attention to it, or now all of a sudden it's all changed. You can probably see that in your day-to-day life. You can certainly see that in the world news, and however much you really look at it, you feel it. You can feel the confusion and the frustration in people and in energy, and how it's becoming very chaotic. It's becoming very aggressive in a lot of ways. It's becoming very revolutionary. It's becoming evolutionary. And when I say revolutionary, I mean transformative. Quickly transformative. Not a slow roll here where we learn a little bit here, learn a little bit there. But it's like things are changing. It is becoming, the illusion is cracking. The illusion is cracking. There are warps and something's wrong. There's glitches, if you will, in the matrix. And if you are one that has begun to rise, and your frequency has begun to ascend yourself, your awareness of that which is outside of you in a third dimensional ego life is now becoming real and tangible and under and understandable to you, then congratulations, you're on that 5D transformative path. You're on that translation to the 5D. You're on the path to translation to a crystalline body existence. You're on that translation, and you're on the ladder, the Jacob's ladder, if you will, as you're climbing up, and you see angels up and down and all around, and you see ancestors, and you see spirit guides. And if you don't see them, you know that they're there. So you're aware of existence of energies and entities outside of a third dimensional, egotistical, egocentric consciousness. So you're raising up, and that timeline is veering. That's veering and going up. And then there's another timeline that's veering over to the other side, and it seems like it's stagnant, it's agitated, it's irritated, It's confused because what it has known to be true all of its existence is no longer true because the illusion cannot be sustained. There is no illusion known to man that can be sustained for eternity. Illusion. There is an illness to the shun or vision. There is an illness, a sickness, and it's right? There is an illness to it, which means at some point it's going to fail, which means at some point it's going to crumble. When you're ill, at some point in your body will say, you know what, you got to get some rest, you got to shut it down. We have to fight this off. Why? Because your life force, your light and life force within you wants to survive. That's its job, to survive and to live on. And so the life force within you says, I'm not going to allow this foreign entity to continue to make me ill. Therefore, the immune system, the white blood cells, and so on and so forth are going to kick in and they're going to do what they need to do. And so that your body gets well. So the illusion, the illness of the vision of this and version of this entire earth that has been what we have lived according to for approximately the last 6,000 to 7,000 years, it's over, right? It's coming to a very quick close. So the Bible was not that far off, and biblical scholars were not that far off when they said that we had a roughly 6,000 year lease on the earth, humanity in its current iteration. Because that's about the time frame, 6,000 to 7,000 years, that each iteration exists before the next, right, evolutionary step must happen, before the next transmutation must happen, before the next reality must exist. Only this time we're not coming through all of these lower dimensional frequencies of the third dimensional existence. We are now jumping from third dimensional reality or existence or matrix to a fifth dimensional life, as we are to join the rest of, right, the universe in higher dimensional living. Should enough of us take up the call and should enough of us make the choice to live in this other higher dimensional reality. But while that is happening, there is a coexistence, if you will, of generations. Think of these various timelines as generations within your own bloodline. You can have 2, 3, 4. Some people are blessed enough to have 5 generations of their bloodline, their human bloodline, existing on the earth at the same time, simultaneously. Each one of those generations had a different path, and they had a bit of a variant of the same timeline that they lived through. Just a tad bit of a variant, not a huge variant, but each group, right, as the generations go further, each group has then hopefully improved upon and ascended to another level in human evolution or energetic evolution. However, we're now at a point in a time where there has to be a large jump. If I were to put this in human terms, for instance, so I'm 52 years young. Yes, 52 and a half now. I have seen technology, for instance, change drastically in my short lifetime. I was one of those children that played Pong when it first came out. I was a child that had the very old compact personal computers. Yes, they weren't personal computers, they were compact computers, and you learned how to, DOS. You learned how to program in DOS on this computer. I had a word processor. You could buy it and you could bring it home, and it was a typewriter that was electric. But it wasn't just electric, it remembered what I was typing and then would type out the whole thing, print it all out. I've gone from vinyl to 8-track to cassette tape to CD to now MP3 and now streaming. I've gone from computers being housed in humongous warehouses that didn't have much memory to now personal desktops, laptops, and tablets. I've gone from Bernoulli discs for storage that were as big as books in size and held very little data to 5 1/4 floppies to 5 1/2, 3 1/4, the hard floppies, yeah. To again, CDs, DVDs, cloud storage, USBs. I've seen a lot of, there was no internet when I was 8 years old. Matter of fact, there was no internet till I was an adult. At least not that was readily accessible. Gone from dial up to DSL to fiber, not having Wi-Fi. The amount of technological advances that I've seen in my very short 52 years of life is absolutely tremendous. The amount of change that we're going to see esoterically and metaphysically in this earth in the next 1, 3, 5, 10, 15 years is going to be equally tremendous. I believe that all of these evolutionary steps are going to be taken a lot faster than even I thought so before. Because the earth cannot hold it. Because, as some say, the inorganic ones that have thus far controlled the reality and controlled the matrix and controlled the illusion can no longer hold the illusion. The illusion as it stands right now, the third dimensional structure, feeds off of and lives off of low vibrational energy. It feeds and lives off of fear and anger and hatred. That's what it feeds off of. It doesn't feed off of love and light. That's not the energy that makes this engine go. And somewhere in between there, in between fear and hatred and shame and guilt and anger and frustration and love and light and wisdom and eternity, within there's a sliver of area that's called reason, and that's the ego, right? So this area of reason, this area that the third dimensional mind operates in, it's a very narrow energetic space. And right now, the third dimensional minds all over this globe are having to make a conscious decision. Are we going to allow this being, this body, are we going to relinquish control and reason and logic and allow the higher energy, higher vibrational entity that is our true self take over and live in this timeline, or are we going to go in and continue to live in the third dimensional realm? And if you're thinking, well, Lisa, you're an absolute nutcase. I don't understand what you mean. How is this possible? Or I don't know if I'm sure about that. Let me ask you a question. Do you feel like time just goes so fast now? Like time goes fast. Like at the blink of an eye, we're already in 2021 and we were just in 2020. Do you want to know why that is? Because Gaia Earth herself, the earth itself has already been within and crossing over, and is about crossed over, in my estimation, the threshold of where time is a limiter. Earth is ready for time and space to no longer be the limiting factor by which life exists, because it is a limiter. It is a limiting factor. You, in your true form, are limitless. This is the reality that a lot of us are coming into the knowledge of. We are limitless. When we have limiting beliefs, these are beliefs that we have been given and have been placed within us in this third dimensional realm, that we came here and then we knew we were going to have to grow past. But those are beliefs that we have to shake off and get rid of in order to really walk in our purpose. Limiting beliefs. You are a limitless being. The earth herself is moving through this and transcending this fourth dimension, because she's ready to hold and host fifth dimensional limitless beings. Therefore, time is becoming less of an entity. It's becoming less of an impediment. It's becoming less of a factor in day-to-day life. So time continually feels like it gets away from you, especially if you're moving in the upward trajectory of higher dimensional life. It's kind of nebulous. It's hard to grasp. It's hard to get a hold of. It's hard to, sometimes, those of us that are already there and living in that timeline, it's hard to come back and be like, oh wait, yeah, what day is it? Oh wait, oh, the whole week is gone. Dang it. It's the end of the month? What? But if you're already beginning to feel like this, you're shifting into the 5D. You're choosing the 5D. You have chosen the 5D timeline. Not everyone, beloved, is going to choose the 5D timeline, and we have to be okay with that. We have to be all right with that, because not everyone's ready, and not everyone's going to choose to be ready. But there are two that are existing timelines right now on this earth. You're not nuts. You're not crazy. You're not looking over and saying, why are you, what? Can't you see that this is an illusion? Can't you see that this is an imagination, a machination? A machination, I mean, a machine created thought process, a machination, something the machines have put into motion. You know, when you imagine things, I imagine. Imagination is the basis of creation for the human, right? For the organic one, for the spiritual one, for the incarnated one. There is an image, imagination. There's an image that you put into motion. That's how we create. That's how we manifest. But as this, the third dimensional lease, the last iteration, the last go around for the third dimensional being on this planet begins to come to a close, the world of imagination begins, just as the world of illusion, the world of imagination begins to blend into what we call reality. Time and space somehow no longer are necessary, or they're not, it's not a factor It's not as big of an impediment from bringing your vision into manifestation. Your image that you put energy and motion into, and bringing that into the third dimensional realm. Why? Because the fourth dimension no longer really affects you, right? So yes, we're living in two different realities, and it is really your choice now which one you choose to live in. I will tell you, if you continue on the path of remaining in third dimensional reality, if you continue to want to buy into the illusion, and part of the illusion is this kind of savior messianic belief system that there is something outside of ourselves that's going to save us, and something and some entity outside of ourselves, and some act that is required in order to reunite us with our creator. The only act or thing that's required is that we have to have the desire to, and that we then live out and choose to reconnect, right? That Christ consciousness really is the consciousness of that you are a beautifully, wonderfully created being that is created in the image and the likeness of Mother, Father, Spirit, Creator. And that your desire to live from that highest good, that highest self, that highest reality, that is when you are reunited, and the reunification is in salvation. Me having to reincarnate again and have to go through it all over again, and what we're living right now is living in separation. If we don't have that ascension or awakening, if we haven't awakened to who we are, if we haven't awakened to that, or beginning to awaken to at least, or awaken to the fact that there is more than just organized religion. Organized religion taught us what we needed to get us to a point. And now we have to understand that there's nothing coming except ourselves. You cannot say that you have free will and that you have authority here on this earth because it's been given to you. Because it's been given to you. This is in your own text. Because it's been given to you, and then still say, oh yeah, but wait, I want you to come down and save me. Oh yeah, but wait, I want you to come riding out and appearing in a clap of thunder and a crack of lightning, and come and vanquish my enemy, and come and take care of me. No, beloved. See, that's still that third dimensional, lower vibrational, because that reality over there has guilt and shame, and I can't, and I don't have the self-esteem, and I don't have the belief in myself. The higher dimensional reality says, hey, wait a minute. I know I'm not supreme, yes, but I am part of. And I've been given the authority to create, and the blueprint and the knowledge to create the world I came here to have. And the reality I came here to have, that you came here to have, beloved, right? That us as light workers came here to have, is that of assisting in the ascension of the planet, in the ascension of humanity through the transition to the fifth dimension. And that has already begun. So this is a choose you this day, but I want you to understand you're not nuts. And there's more that's going to jump over and awaken and come over to fifth dimensional realities, and they're going to be questioning, and they're going to be wondering, and they're going to need us to be able to understand and be able to help them as they're ascending, and help them heal the limiting beliefs, help them heal from narcissistic abuse, help them heal from all the trauma that they have thus far experienced, right? Help them understand where to go and how to, empower them. We need we need more of us to be here to help the collective, the individual be empowered to remember or put back their members. We are all collectively remembering who we are, and we're putting our members back in place so that they can be a functioning part of the collective. Not only a functioning part of the collective, but a contributing part of the collective. And as all of us come together, right, we raise the vibrational frequency and set point of this earth. I want to thank you so much for being here with me for this podcast. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. And I would like to invite you to come and schedule a call with me, a 15-minute call. Lightworker Academy has officially launched its spiritual counselor and energy healer certification program. And if you would like to be considered for enrollment in that program, please go to www.heartofinspiration.net. And if you scroll down just a little bit, book a clarity call with me. I am looking for, or I'm putting the call out to launch 100 lightworkers in 100 days. 100 lightworkers in 100 days into their purpose. So if you would like to receive your certification from Lightworker Academy in spiritual counseling and energy healing, there's a link below on the YouTube channel. And otherwise, please go to www.heartofinspiration.net and book a clarity call with me, and we will chat about enrollment. Peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. I love you all so much. Namaste. Bye-bye.